I'm Kenta Tamaki on the men's tennis team, and you're watching This Week at Pepperdine.
Championship season has arrived for Pepperdine's cross-country teams as the Waves will host the WCC Championships for the first time in school history on Saturday. Also here in Malibu this week, women's basketball gets underway with an exhibition game against Westmont, and water polo takes on Long Beach State. Plus, several of the Waves teams will be in action on the road. All this and more in another edition of This Week at Pepperdine. As always, we begin with our 3-star segment. However, there were just too many good performances this past week for just 3 stars. We start with Jessica Masba of the women's swimming team, who won 5 events at the Malibu Invitational and had a total of 9 top 5 finishes. Sophomore Marissa Chow tied for 11th place at the highly competitive Stanford Intercollegiate and helped the Waves to a 5th place team finish. Junior Allie Holtz of the women's soccer team notched game-winning goals against both Pacific and St. Mary's, had a total of 3 goals and 1 assist on the weekend, and picked up the WCC's Player of the Week award. And senior David Sofer of men's tennis reached the quarterfinals of the USTA Clay Court Invitational in Florida. We move on with our top plays segment. Here's the best of what happened this past week on campus. Ellen Strampel put together a great diving routine at the Malibu Invitational on her way to the victory at the 3-meter. Women's volleyball against Gonzaga, Becca Strelo clinching the match on this kill. The Waves were down 2-0, battled back to force a Game 5, and then trailed 11-13 in Game 5 before storming back and clinching the win. Friday up at Terry Framrocas Field, the first of 2 game winners for Allie Holtz on the weekend. This one coming off of the Michelle Powell deflection. Holtz stays with it and fires it into the back of the net. The Ryan Weisenberg era begins in women's basketball as the Waves begin the 2013 season with a home exhibition against Westmont on Wednesday night. The Warriors won't be a pushover as they were the NAIA national champions this past spring. The Waves return 8 starters from last year's team and will add a few new pieces into the mix as they look to improve upon last year's finish.
So we're very excited about our exhibition game Wednesday. We're ready to start back playing at home in front of our fans. Some strengths of the team this year would be that we're coming with a new focus. We're competing. That's our theme of the year, is to compete. So we're going to give a lot of people a run for their money, and we're going to compete, and we're not going to give up, and we're just going to play hard.
Alumni Park will be the site of the West Coast Conference Cross Country Championships this Saturday as the Waves get ready to host the event for the first time in program history. Can't be there? The W.TV will have a live webcast of the men's and women's races.
We're really just all so excited. We've been training on this course all season, so it'll be great to just run it and employ the racing strategies we've been practicing and just have our fans out there. So we're really excited. We've raced all these teams before, we know what to expect, and just going out there and kind of just using all the training we've been building up this whole season.
Men's water polo will try for its first MPSF victory this Saturday when the Waves host Long Beach State at noon. The Waves had a tough road trip this past weekend with losses to a pair of top 5 teams in Stanford and Cal, though Luke Hugo passed the 50-goal mark for the season. 2 weeks remain in the regular season for women's soccer. This week, the Waves head to Northern California to take on San Francisco and number 11 Santa Clara. The Waves are on the cusp of a 3rd consecutive NCAA tournament appearance, but they'll need a strong finish to make that happen. Pepperdine's game at USF is a WCC Game of the Week on the W.TV. After home victories against Gonzaga and Portland, the Waves hope the momentum will continue in what will almost certainly be their toughest road trip of the season. Pepperdine visits number 8 San Diego on Wednesday and number 21 BYU on Saturday. BYU game can be watched on BYU TV. Lots of action both here and away for Pepperdine Athletics. Thanks for joining us on This Week at Pepperdine.